Welcome to C.D.C. Unfiltered. We are chronic, determined, and coping. Join us as we try to break through the fog of today's healthcare system or lack thereof. We are not medical professionals. This information is for educational purposes only and collective support. We would like to introduce ourselves. We are,
I'm Kara, and I am chronically ill.
I am Donna, and I am determined.
And I am Crystal, and I am trying to cope.
We are C.D.C. Unfiltered. Welcome. So for anybody who's new here, we are all chronically ill. We all have some different things going on. So if you're a first-time listener, thank you so much for stopping by and listening into our little conversation that we're going to have today. One of the things that we all deal with right now is having we call it spoon issue or spoon theory, where we chronically do not have enough energy.
Yep.
And recently, and of course, because when you need to go find it, you can't find it. But recently, I found something online, and it was called the three battery theory. And I want to explain it to you guys, because this actually sounds way easier to understand than the spoon theory.
Okay.
All right, and now bear with me, because it's all off of memory, so just bear with. And when I do find this, I will make sure that I tag you guys, and I will include it in the notes somewhere, okay?
Perfect.
Sounds good.
So the theory is that everybody has three batteries, okay? You have battery A, B, and C, okay? And your battery A is your best battery. It's the brand new battery that charges up really quick. You sleep at night, you wake up, you feel phenomenal the next day. But the battery, like that battery A, if you need to take time out during the day to sit down for a little while and recharge yourself, battery A can actually do a little bit of a recharge, almost kind of like like a little solar, right? Battery A is phenomenal, okay? But when battery A goes down, you have battery B. Battery B but doesn't charge up as fast as battery A. And the only time that you have to delve down into battery B is on the days where you wake up and no, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me go through all the batteries first. Battery C charges up a little bit slower, and then battery B. Battery C, there we go, is the last battery. That's the emergency battery, right? That's the battery that your body only accesses when it doesn't have any other energy storage allowed. Okay? So for chronically ill people, our battery A doesn't work like normal people. Our battery A never charges to 100% at night.
So we're like a Dollar Tree battery.
Basically, yeah, like our battery has been used way too much, and it's like, I don't want to charge anymore. So our battery A's they're slower to recharge, and when we wake up every day, that charge can only be at like maybe 50% or only 45%. And sometimes we wake up and battery A isn't charged at all because we've overspent. And a lot of times, chronically ill people, we're already dipping in a battery C. And battery C for a normal person is that battery that they dip into after they've had the flu for a while. Where you need that energy to go make yourself some kind of, nourishment. Normal, healthy people, they can get up and do those things, where, people who are not so much. If they're already dipping into battery C every single day, or I'm sorry, battery B every single day, that battery is getting used more and more. It's not charging up as much every day, and it's just slowly working itself away. And a lot of times, for a lot of us who can't manage our energy levels, or they can't manage their usage, we're dipping into our battery C. And that's the battery that you should not have to. That's the battery that is literally there for your internal organs. Like that's the stuff that runs the what's the
All
word?
the like automated stuff.
Yeah, the automated stuff. Thank you. Battery C is there for that. That is not something that you ever should need to touch. But because battery A is already depleted so much and you're working off of battery B, sometimes you have to dip into battery C. And when you do that, your cognitive memory starts to dip. Everything else starts to get a little bit worse because your body needed that battery to run the automations that it can no longer run because you're needing it to do functioning things like, get up and go to the bathroom.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
It does. So
And I
that,
hope I didn't confuse anybody. I'm sorry. I know I did use some of the wrong terms there, but I hope I was clear. And
so,
again, I will find the person who explains this way better than I can.
and so that kind of is similar to the spoon theory, but with less steps.
Right. But also, when you explain it that way, like, so our loved ones that are healthy, right? Like they wake up every day, they can go to work, they can come home, sit down for a few minutes, be like, I'm just going to recharge, get up, cook a meal, and still feel okay, right? I don't know about you guys, but like, I know that if I was to go to work for 8 hours in a day and to come home, my body will shut off.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's been days I call it power downing because like I will turn to my husband and I'll be like, I can't keep my eyes open, and it's like as if somebody shuts a light off because I can't physically stay awake any longer.
Wow.
Like my body won't allow it.
Right.
I don't know about you if you guys experienced that yet,
Yeah. Yeah.
or or if I'm the only one that pushes myself to that point.
No, I think I have found out just in the past few months that is every Saturday for me because I will push and push and push and push and push and push and push until I have a second to breathe, and then that moment is the crash, right?
Yeah,
Then
right,
that's when I become. That's probably when I hit my battery C, and the harder I go until I allow myself to take that deep breath, the harder the crash is. So what
right,
I have found is because I've been working a lot of hours, and we've been making really good changes and things within my job, and all of that takes a lot of mental capability. So I have to be on and I have to be sharp, like so many hours a day right now. By the time I get to Saturday, like it won't turn on. Like it just
right.
won't. It's not there. Like I
Because
have
your
had a
body doesn't
couple.
have the capacity.
Yeah, I've had 2 Saturdays now where I'm like, normally I do all my food prep, but
Right,
like I don't know how trusted I should be to leave the stove on because I will probably forget or fall asleep or something. So I'm not doing my food prepping. So yeah, I think that's kind of along the same lines, probably as what you're talking about. I don't know if anybody else is like that, but like for me, I can go. It's this once I stop though,
yep.
then I have to take the recovery for how hard I pushed through that entire
Hmm.
go moment,
Hmm.
So if I
Yep.
push
I
myself for
used
a couple days, then, I may need to just, take a nap and not be so extensive. But if I go all week, then I got a lot of making up to do, you
Yeah.
know?
You can't make that. You can't make up days worth of overuse in a short 48-hour period.
Right.
Right.
Because that's the other thing. Like battery A is supposed to be recharged every night, and battery B is a slower recharge. That is the one that's supposed to take weeks to recharge.
Yeah.
Because like think about like when you were younger and you had the flu, right? And I use this because I feel like that this is something that a lot of other people can
Relate to.
understand,
Relate.
yeah, relate to
Mm-hmm.
is having the flu or even COVID, right? Because most of us have had that too. Um, but like when you were younger and you're a healthier person, you would get the flu. You'd have that for a couple of days, right? Or maybe a week, depending on the body, right? But then you would start to feel a little bit better, and that would be like 3 or 4 days. And then you'd feel a little bit better, and that would be like 3 or 4 more days. But you still wouldn't feel the best. You would still feel like a little bit tired, so you would need 2 weeks of like solid sleep to feel like yourself again. chronically ill people, we don't get that because our battery B never actually physically fully gets to recharge because a lot of times we're pushing ourselves too much.
Yeah.
And like I'm disabled, right? Like I'm not working, but I still do it because you don't know what task is going to use how, like what energy for yourself.
Right. And it could be different every day too. I mean, I know just a simple task of taking a shower. Some days that's tricky. Some days it's not,
Yeah.
you know. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Cooking, vacuuming, any of the normal day-to-day stuff that people do could be totally fine one day, and I could be blaring the music and shaking my butt around the house, singing way louder than I should, getting some cleaning done.
Mm-hmm.
And then other days with identical everything else to it, I can't get my feet up off the recliner, you know?
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's something that we all struggle with. Anybody that has energy issues, because you don't know. Like I was going through physical therapy. It stopped, and I'm waiting to find out if I can go back again. So we're in a pause. But even and doing that, like you don't know how much energy that's going to use every time you go.
Right.
There were days that I would leave there, and I'd be like, heating pad for the rest of the day. I can't move. And then there were other days where I was like, okay, I can go home and maybe I can, put laundry in the washing machine or something like that. Like I had a little bit more energy, but you don't know how you're going to feel.
Right.
And that also makes it really difficult for us to plan anything, right?
Very difficult. How many times have we planned stuff now? And like
Yep.
half hour before we're supposed to do it, we're like, I can't. I can't. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And that's something I know it's very difficult for people who aren't familiar with this to understand. So, you got little kids' birthday parties and you got, anniversary parties and the holidays are coming and, things like that. My son, he moved away. He lives in a different state, all grown. And like he's coming in December, but not at Christmas time. So like that allows our house to be like, we don't really have to do that like big huge Thanksgiving and
Yep.
big huge
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving. I mean, and dinner or Christmas dinner. We could just do one while they're here
Mm-hmm.
and be done with it. And I was like, that sounds so inviting.
It really
you know,
does.
it's like just sit back and I mean, of course, we'll probably do like a special dinner or something like that. But to at the end of a Thanksgiving, not feel like I've had all my energy zapped away because I like the fact that they relate it to a battery because it is very electricity driven. Like,
Yep.
I say all the time, I just feel like something has sucked out every ounce of energy from
Mm-hmm.
me. So I
Yeah.
like that they kind of refer it to that because that is something I say all the time. I don't know. I was talking to my husband yesterday. I'm like, I don't know where I lost it. I don't know where I left it. It might be in the laundry. Check your pockets. But my energy, gone. Hope it didn't
Yeah.
go through the dryer. We don't want to do that again, but I can't find it. So if you see it, send it home.
Well, when I read that thing about the three batteries, I'm like, that sounds phenomenal. Okay, where's the human backup battery? Because that's what I need. All I could think about was Crystal with your little backup battery chargers, and I was like, man, if we could just get one of those,
Right?
like plug in somewhere, like I get a little bit of energy, it'd be great.
You
Yep.
can plug in like the Jetsons made.
Oh my
Right.
gosh.
Right. I mean, there's many
Oh my
things from the
God.
Jetsons I would like to take before that. Like, let's get that made, I mean,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
under the right circumstances, I could deal with chronic illness, right? If you got somebody who
Right.
can do all of those things and you could just exist, it might not be so bad. But I mean, seriously, that's not a thing. Even for rich people, that's not much of a thing anymore, like,
We live in a capitalist society, and that's never gonna work
no.
because we got to work.
Mhm.
Yeah. And like with me, with the whole battery thing, we're in like a mandatory overtime situation going on at my job right now. So there were days last week that I worked from 8 a.m. to like 7:30 p.m. And then you still have stuff that you have to do around the house. So I have to like do the stuff around the house. Luckily, somebody else makes dinner. But I do, certain things. And then if I sit down to eat dinner, I do nothing else after that. So,
Right.
so there are some nights that I don't even sit down with a dinner plate till 8:30, just because I know that after that I'm not gonna be able to do anything else. The second that I actually sit down and breathe, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Because your
whole
body said enough.
growing up, and it was like before you go to bed, the dishes had to be done. Like, we had to give that away in this household because tomorrow's just gonna have to do. So
Yep.
prep those dishes so that they're gonna be okay sitting overnight. Because once dinner hits,
Yep. Everything in the
lights
dishwasher,
out.
prep the ones you can't do.
Yep. Exactly.
Mhm.
Like that's what it comes
And
down
then
to.
run the dishwasher overnight, and then on my lunch break, I empty the dishwasher.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of
There you
works,
go. There you
but
go.
Yep.
a
Yeah,
little bit of
working from
energy
home is
there.
nice.
Right.
At least you're working from home now. Imagine having to go into an office every day.
It would
I
be
don't think I
hard.
could. I don't think I could, because
It would be hard.
I am severely diabetic. I eat all day. I use the bathroom all day. I don't even take, the 2 15-minute breaks. I take 10 4-minute breaks. I can't, and then I can't be seated that long. I have to walk around.
It's hard.
Sarah was in a meeting pacing.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
I
was
got
like,
myself wireless headphones specifically so that when I'm in a meeting that doesn't require me to look at the screen, I'll just pace back and forth just to have some type of movement
Right.
so I don't stiffen up for sitting in that chair for 10, 12 hours that day.
Well, you do know that if you are on the neurospicy spectrum, movement while working is actually one of the best solutions for your brain.
Yeah, I come up with better ideas and things like that if I'm
Mhm.
just kind of walking around.
Yeah, if you're a neurodivergent person, movement while you're thinking is actually encouraged.
And I do. I'm so
That's why a
sorry.
lot of people have
Ugh.
the little bike things under their desk.
I had one of those, and I kept hitting my
Did you?
knee on my desk.
Yeah,
I had the same
exactly.
problem.
Exactly. I mean, our desk
I
is
did too.
pretty
You
tall.
do.
I'm
I had the
doing it
same
right
problem.
now. That would be, I mean, I don't know. I guess we could try it again. I think there's still one around here somewhere.
They also make little swingy things that you can put your feet on, so you can move, just rock your feet back and forth. That's
Mhm.
also a really good one too.
I
And that
tried that.
actually works your leg muscles.
We'd
I
end up
tried
with the
that.
dog trying to get in it.
Sorry, I'm just picturing Janko.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Trying to
yeah.
get into a hammock.
Well, and Crystal, we do have one of those things somewhere. I used it for a little while, but I'm short and stocky. So when I put my feet up in it, it wants to cut me off at the ankles so that my
Yep.
feet would go numb. Like so that didn't do it. That didn't do it. But I did try that
Oh
one.
God. So I just had a memory pop up from when HR would go around and tell you how to sit properly at your desk.
Yes, the ergonomics
And
things.
and and I would always be slumped down in my chair because my back was always hurting, and and it was the only way I could sit comfortably. And HR comes over and she's like, hello, and I'm like, hello. She's like, why are you sitting like that? I'm like, because it doesn't hurt like this. She's like, Donna. I was like, oh. So I sat up. I'm like, happy now? She's like, great. Walked away, and I slumped back down. She's like, Donna, you're not getting me. No. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Are you going to pay for my chiropractic bill?
They were at that point, actually.
Yeah, right. That's
Never
why they
mind.
wanted you to sit right.
That was when it was actually covered by the insurance. But yeah, it was the only way that I could sit comfortably because they hated it. They did not like walking anybody near me because I always looked like I was sleeping, but I
Right.
wasn't. Just had a bad back.
Well, the
I don't know.
battery thing was kind of cool. I think that is very relatable.
Right? And
And
again, I will find it and I will post it somewhere. I think social media hit it again. I don't know. I can't find it.
yeah, it does that.
Um, But the other thing I found was about small fiber neuropathy in hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and hypermobility spectrum disorders.
Oh,
Okay. I have horrible
new
Okay.
small
study?
fiber neuropathy.
Mm-hmm. So small fiber neuropathy is a type of peripheral. Yep.
Yep.
This is gonna be fun. Neuropathy that affects A, delta, and C fibers. These fibers sense pain, temperature, and itching and regulate the autonomic functions such as heart rate, blood pressure, digestion, and sweating.
That
All
makes sense.
issues that I have. Issues. In hypermobile hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, it contributes to neurological involvement and may help explain widespread pain and autonomic symptoms. Specialty clinics studies report that up to 78% of patients with hypermobile show reduced small fiber density and on their skin biopsy.
What was it?
They show small fiber density reduced small fiber density on skin biopsies.
Reduce.
How?
Small fiber density on skin biopsies. Sorry, I gotta turn this off. These studies report on patients already experiencing symptoms as opposed to the general population. And they're stating that the small fiber neuropathy is normally overlooked in patients.
Absolutely overlooked in patients.
Doctors
They all
don't
Mhm.
just
really,
think that
they
it's
don't do nothing about small fiber. It's terrible.
Mm-mm. And
They just assume diabetic.
the symptoms of the small fiber neuropathy is burning or stabbing pain, often in hands and your feet, tingling, numbness, hypersensitivity, restless legs and itching, allodynia, pain from light touch, and hyperalgesia, amplified pain response. A recent study by the Norris Lab highlighted that small fiber neuropathy is notably more prevalent in hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos compared to hypermobile symptom disorder. This aligns with prior research linking hypermobility to small fiber neuropathy and dysautonomia,
Wow.
as HEDS patients also report higher rates of neurological symptoms like numbness, tingling, muscle weakness, and migraines.
Did you just read your autobiography?
I'm
I
looking for,
did.
I'm looking
These
for the,
include dizziness or lightheadedness when standing, rapid heart rate, tachycardia or palpitations, blood pressure instability, gastrointestinal disturbances, nausea, and mobility issues, abnormal sweating patterns. Symptoms overlap with those of HEDS and HSD and related conditions, including chronic pain, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, aka POTS, and gastrointestinal problems. Many patients go years before small fiber neuropathy is identified.
they don't test for small fiber neuropathy very often.
Mm.
I
They
mean, I
say
think
it's a.
it was 2
Go ahead.
years of my neuropathy before. I'm trying to, I want to see my skin biopsy results. That's what I'm looking for, like right now.
I figured you were a woman on a mission. I was like, she's going. Look at her go.
She's looking for something.
She's
There's
on a
just a
mission.
lot of results and stuff to go through. But I want,
I was
The
now
about to
I
say, because
diagnosis.
you
know.
did the skin biopsy.
I did
Yeah,
the
that's what I
skin
was thinking.
biopsy, and I want to, now I really want to know.
Diagnostic tools: skin biopsy to measure intraepidermal nerve fiber density, considered the gold standard. Quantitative sensory testing (QST) for heat and pain thresholds. Nerve conduction studies to rule out large fiber neuropathy,
Yeah.
usually normal in SFN.
Mhm.
Possible causes: genetic links such as sodium channel mutations, which are SCN9A and SCN10A.
Okay.
Autoimmune overlap, including what's the one, Kara Sjogren's? I can never say it.
Sjogren's.
Sjogren.
Sjogren syndrome or lupus. Repeated microtrauma related to joint instability, likely multifactorial and still under investigation.
Wow.
SFN versus fibromyalgia. SFN, burning or stabbing pain plus reduced small fibers on biopsy. fibromyalgia, you have your central pain sensitization, widespread tenderness, TMJ dysfunction, and cognitive
That's you.
difficulties with your fibro. I know, I have both. And then distinguishing them is important for targeted treatment. I gotta bring this up to
Yeah,
my
you
doctor.
do. You absolutely do. You kind of it checked almost all of your
Every
boxes.
one of them.
Do
Yeah.
you have the neuropathy pains?
It's the only thing I don't have. Well, okay. I can't state that because it's gonna sound so bad. When I was a when I was a kid, I had chronic ingrown toenails
Okay.
Ooh, yeah,
to the
that's the
point
thing.
where I would have to physically go to a doctor and get them like
Yeah,
Cut.
they would have to numb it out and like surgically remove. But the
Right.
thing was is that I never knew that they were there until the pain was a 10.
wow.
So now I think when you say that, I was like, well, maybe I do have it and I just never knew it because it was just me being weird.
Right. That's I mean, it definitely checked off a lot of your boxes. And
It does.
I did the nerve conduction test because I do have neuropathy, but mine is
Oh,
actual
Ah,
diabetic
we lost her.
neuropathy. So
okay.
it's different than the small
She's still
fiber.
talking.
It might even be considered the large fiber that you were talking about, but I can't say that for sure.
I
I just know
gotta
it's
know.
diabetic. But I do remember going with Kara for her skin biopsies. I think we lost her because she's in a very. Wait, am I gone? Yeah.
Did you know when you get your records back from a colonoscopy, if you get all your records, they show pictures.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, they show pictures.
We're still recording, so
That's okay. It was all from inside.
okay. Okay, cool. As long as you don't care. I don't care. There she is.
I'm just trying to figure out where my.
You were on a roll and we
I
really wanted to
I
hear you.
know. Where did I stop? Because I was like, Kara, you're frozen. And then you thought, oh, I'm out.
You so honest to God, you cut out at meh and it was like
Yeah.
5.
Yep.
And I was like, damn it.
That's funny.
So can you say it again for us?
So I've had the nerve conduction test,
Right.
and my boyfriend actually had to come with me because my feet are weird. Like I wouldn't have been able to drive after. And I actually jumped off the table, like legit. And so like mine is actual diabetic neuropathy, but I do recall I went with Kara for her skin biopsy for the small fiber neuropathy. Were you able to find the paperwork, Kara?
It's here somewhere.
She's still
But
searching.
and she's done the nerve conduction. That's where they actually like put little needles and then they test it by putting electricity straight to it. It is awful. Do not do it unless you have to. It is. I am not a wuss when it comes to pain, but that was bad. Kara's done it as well, but
I'm sorry, my brain was thinking of something else when you talking about the needles with the electricity, right?
yeah. Yep,
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
they
had
put
that.
needles on certain nerves and then they
I've
put
had that.
electricity into it.
Yeah,
And like
it
for
did it.
me, because we were trying to figure out where my neuropathy has gone to, so it was all down my legs, all the way up to my hip. That she did all the
Yeah.
needles, and the minute that she hit my hip, I literally like they said that I came off the table like 6 inches because it was just I had it's not neuropathy there. I can feel that.
They
But
they
it's
did
just
it
like
up your hip?
Yeah.
because they needed to know how far because my neuropathy had gotten all the way up to past my knee,
Yep.
so
Oh,
they
Can
needed to
test.
see.
They can test for your legs all the way up to your hips and for your arms all the way up to your shoulder blades. Yep. And when they do the skin biopsy, they check both of those areas. They take a chunk
Yeah.
from multiple sites within the body so that they can determine, okay, it was here, but it wasn't here, so it stops somewhere within here. After going through the last 2 years worth of medical files,
For those of you who are just listening and not watching, that stack was like 3 dictionaries high. It was big.
it was big. I'm not seeing it, so I'm gonna have to go through it when I can pay more attention to every single page. But I know that I have I keep my results to everything. It's proven to be useful on multiple different occasions, so I keep doing it. Um, but I know I have it, and I would love to look at that and compare that out because they haven't really had much new research
Study.
on small fiber neuropathy
Mhm.
in the United States in a very long time. And
I
they
think all of these are always overseas.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, and they basically just kind of go with, you know, the same old stuff. They okay, you got neuropathy, but it matters what kind. It
Yeah.
matters if it's
Mhm.
peripheral or if it's small fiber. That's a big difference. And um it's like that it doesn't matter to them because they're going to treat it the same way because all but that's just covering it up. I've
Yeah.
never been given any, ways or ideas to fix it. They always say that when it comes to neuropathy, whether it be small fiber or peripheral, the only thing you can do is try to make it not get worse.
Right.
Which
Well,
you're not
the
satisfying me with that result. I'm telling you. Yeah.
their treatment options listed on the article that I have is medications, tricyclic antidepressants, TCAs,
Jesus.
serotonin neuro yep,
Yeah, like Elavil, things like that. But
SNRIs, and gabapentin, which we already know what that does. Lifestyle is pacing, gentle activity, stress regulation. Okay, really?
Mm.
And then addressing underlying contributing factors such as autoimmune disease or nutritional deficiencies. Intravenous immunoglobulin IVIG also shows promise in immune meditation SFN, including some of the uh, hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos cases. And then it says research continues into sodium channel blockers and improved diagnostic tools.
Oh,
hmm,
okay.
sodium channel blockers.
Mm-hmm.
I was more interested in the IVIG. The hell is
The
that?
intravenous immunoglobulin. It's,
Yeah.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Kara, are you Googling? Or are you working over there?
It's a class of medication that work on inhibiting the sodium channels in the nerve cells, reducing the pain signal.
Oh.
Good for neuropathic pain, chronic pain caused by damage to nerves, postoperative pain after surgery, acute pain from injuries or medical procedures. Um, Same side effects as everything else. They can make you tired. They can make your belly upset. But
Now, there also was another study. This was the Norris lab. They conducted a study globally from September 2023 to March 2024. One of the largest international surveys ever conducted on hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and
Wow.
hypermobility spectrum disorders.
Hmm.
It was a 418 item questionnaire covering symptoms, diagnosis, healthcare access, and quality of life. So they are studying,
They're
like
trying.
it's active. They're trying.
But that was
Um,
23 to 2024, and we're just now hearing of it. It's
oh
because
the
yeah,
that's how
end of
long it takes for it to get out
2025.
there.
That's crazy.
MCAS is on there too.
have you seen anybody to go over those results yet, Donna?
Nope.
When is that appointment?
That's what I'm waiting for them to call me back on. I have to wait. I'm going to call them on Monday.
Didn't we talk about this like a couple weeks ago?
Yes. There was issues. The doctor wasn't there because he was over at the other office helping
Oh,
out.
our bad.
So I kept missing him. Yeah, so it was fun. I recently there was also another study on the nerves being like basically overstretched, and that's what's causing a lot of the pain too for certain
Oh,
people.
okay.
Has to do with the nerve fiber in its little like coating being overstretched, and so when you're moving around, it hits the side of the wall of the covering of the nerve. And so, like, have you guys ever had the random, oh my God, ow, that hurts, and then it just disappears?
Oh,
Mine doesn't normally disappear, but I do have I call it the ice
okay.
pick.
All day, every
Ice pick
day,
pain.
just randomly
Right, and
here and
it's
there.
random, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and sometimes it'll happen multiple times, sometimes it won't at all. This
Mm-hmm.
is another one of those things where they're finding that patients, and it's fibromyalgia, hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos, basically everything that we're always talking about. They have where the nerve fiber is, so you know your nerve, how it's constructed, right? You have the fiber of the nerve, like basically think of it like a, a conduit, and then it has its outer shell. So you have your
It's
fiber
The
kind of
and then
covering.
outer shell.
similar to like a tomato seed where you got the seed inside and then this
Yeah,
jelly stuff on the
yeah,
outside.
on the outside. Right,
That
right, right.
jelly
So
stuff is the protector. Yeah.
exactly. So the fiber, the nerve itself gets overly stretched out due to injury, genetics, whatever it might be. So when we're moving around, that inner fiber hits the wall where it's not supposed to, sending that electric shock, and you're like, ow, why does that hurt? Oh, it's gone
Mm-hmm.
Oh my.
because it readjusted itself.
Yeah, I call it the ice pick because it feels like an ice pick stabbing.
Yep, yep, that's a really good term for it. I like that. I like
Well,
that a lot.
it sucks, but it's a good definition.
Well, I mean, if you got to describe it to somebody, that's exactly what it feels like.
Yeah.
So that sodium channel
Blocker.
blocker,
Yes,
amitriptyline falls under that, and I know that they give that quite frequently for
I was on that.
um
I currently am.
neuropathy. Yeah, me too. So that falls into that sodium channel blocker,
Yeah, I was on that one for quite some time.
which is probably what. So then, wait a second. Rewind. Hold the phone.
Yep, go
I
for it.
missed it.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, Misty butt. For anybody not watching, there's a cat butt on the screen.
So
Madam.
so I had 2 different bouts where I got very ill, and it was very scary. It was very like stroke or seizure like. I ended up in the hospital both times, and nobody noticed it doctor wise or anything, nor did I until after I had left the second time, and I was looking at my records from the first time versus the second time, and I'm looking at this and I'm like, there has to be something the same, right? This isn't 2 different things. It happened the same exact way. And the one thing that I did notice on both occasions, my sodium was actually very low, like
Oh.
out of normal, way too low, both times. And I took that information to the neuro that I see. And I specifically said, I had read before where amitriptyline could possibly lower those sodium levels and make your sodium levels tank.
For anybody not watching, something fell at Kara's
My,
house, and she's looking.
my like 1 pound Oscar just tried to jump out of its tank.
Are
That's
you
what it was. Yeah.
serious? That damn fish.
Like it skewed the whole cover on the tank. Anyway, I apologize. But that doctor, when I took that information to that doctor and I said, I really think this is it because it's the only thing that makes sense. It was happening at both times. Neither time was it addressed by anybody at the
Right.
emergency room when I was there or at the hospital during my stay because
They couldn't
yeah.
figure it out.
So and he said that's not a symptom I've ever heard of. It's a sodium channel blocker.
Right.
It quite literally blocks your sodium. That's its job. But they never heard of that before. That's not a side effect. This is why I don't like doing research on my own, because I always get mad. I always get mad. I'm always like, well, why didn't you see that 7 years ago? You know, like,
Right?
that's crazy. Food for thought.
And you're
That's a
still taking that?
Are
I
you still
mean,
taking the
yeah, it
Otrivin?
works. What do? It's either that or up the gabapentin. You don't want to do that.
No.
I mean, it works. I just get to eat chips every once in a while. I start feeling funny. I grab a bag of chips. That is a chunky monk's favorite line. Oh, you mean to feel better? Eat salt?
I mean,
Don't tell me twice.
no.
So the Norris lab.
Mm-hmm.
Can you go back to that for a second?
Sure.
That was a study. It was over about a year, I think you said, right?
Right.
About a 1 year period.
Mm-hmm.
And
It was a patient-first study design.
okay.
I love that Kara's taking notes.
And some of this could be important, you know.
Worth
It
looking at for sure.
I can
was over about a year.
I can
And how
also
many patients? Didn't you say it was something like 400 or something?
no, it's
It was like a bunch of surveys, wasn't it? Or
It
was
was
that the other page?
that's what it
there
was.
was 9,258 total responses.
Wow, that's a large group.
Well, yeah, but you want to know who met the criteria out of that 9,000? This is the gross part. 3,906 met the criteria for the study.
Does it say what the criteria was?
No,
Mm.
it was a
Kara will find it.
418 item questionnaire though. So they
What
had
was
to
it?
answer 418.
That's where the 400 came from. So it was
Mhm.
418 questions.
Yep, covering symptoms, diagnosis, healthcare, access, and quality of life.
I bet it wasn't people like us. We have too much wrong with us. We'd skew the results.
I don't know. Because it says that this study provides a large-scale data back looking at a multi-systematic symptoms focused on lived experiences with thousands with HEDS and HSD. HEDS is hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. HSD is hypermobile syndrome disorder.
Similar but different.
Right.
Okay.
Spectrum. It's on the spectrum.
Norris Lab, huh?
Mm-hmm. The study was co-developed with patients to prioritize lived experience. It was anonymous and online for global access and reduced participation barriers. It was community-powered recruitment through patient networks and advocacy groups. The findings revealed multi-systematic burdens and diagnostic challenges, suggesting that HEDS and HSD may be complex syndromes with connective tissue involvement not limited to connective tissue disorders. This multi-systematic burden and the comorbidities that they looked at were chronic pain, gastrointestinal disorders, dysautonomia, allergies, asthma, and MCAS. Mast cell activation syndrome, for anybody who is not aware of that one.
So
The diagnostic journey. Go ahead.
Nope, go ahead, finish.
Diagnostic journey, I was average delay of 22.1 years to get your diagnosis for the Ehlers-Danlos and 17.5 years for hypermobile syndrome. The symptom onset at age was around 9.3, but your diagnosis didn't actually get until about 31.4 years old. So you were a child when you got the symptoms. Misdiagnosis was so common at 60% of the Ehlers-Danlos, 51% for hypomobility. And often fibromyalgia, anxiety, or other labels were also put in that one. 50% of the hypermobile patients met the Ehlers-Danlos criteria. I'm going to say that one more time. 50% of the hypermobile syndrome patients met the Ehlers-Danlos criteria.
It's bigger than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
And
odd considering only 1/3 of the patients that they actually gave the survey to met the criteria. That's odd.
Right. But 50% of them are, it's crazy. 26% of the hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos participants did not meet full criteria in 2017.
Oh, so it
the
took that long for them to get that criteria.
the participants did not meet that full criteria in 2017. So the criteria has changed since 2017 to now.
That makes sense because we know more
as
about
it
it
should
now.
have.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So Norris, the Norris lab is out of it's out of the University Hospital in Charleston, South Carolina. And they seem to do quite a bit of different sets of like research and whatnot. But Ehlers-Danlos and hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, they actually call it, it says, no other condition in the history of modern medicine has been neglected in such a way that as Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. They also say that Norris Lab is changing that. So they've moved their focus completely to this, to Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and hypermobility issues. They're
Wow.
stating that 1 in every 500 individuals has a varying degree of severity with this disease. That's their outlook on it. And then they had a quote, let me find it again, I thought was really nice. Where'd it go? They're saying family genetics and population genetics, so like environmental, like, so they're saying actual family genetics as well as environmental genetics is a combination of those two is what brings on the problems.
Wow.
And then, so
it says here, common triggers reported for infections was 25% of the Ehlers-Danlos and 23% of the hypermobility, and hormonal transitions were triggering like puberty for the Ehlers, and then the 26% for the hypermobility.
Yeah.
So like hormonal transitions, infections.
So for those of you out there that don't know a ton of it about it, their little paragraph here is fantastic. So I'm just going to read that real quick. It's Ehlers-Danlos syndrome is a group of genetic connective tissue disorders that affect the body's ability to produce strong and stable collagen. Hypermobility is the most common type estimated to affect around 1 in 500 individuals with varying degrees of severity and presentation. Despite its prevalence, HEDS has remained a neglected condition in the medical field and scientific field, and they are trying to change that. So this is going to be, this Norris Lab is going to be one to watch, one to pay attention to.
Kara, where are you getting that? What site or where are you getting that info?
I went to their site. I went to thenorrislab.com.
Okay.
And then right on their front page, when you go there, right on their front page is their EDS research. It's right there. It looks like they have moved all their focus pretty much to hypermobility.
That's amazing.
So that's going to be a lab to watch and see what kind of information is coming out of them. We should probably maybe I'll set an alarm to remind me like quarterly to go in and see what these guys got going on. Because we don't always get all the news. So
no, we don't. Do you know how I went on this journey? Like how I figured this out? Was a friend of ours had made mention of it, and I had Googled it once on TikTok. Like not Google, but I like searched it on TikTok real quick. Once. And then I kept getting the videos saying like, "Hey, do you have these issues? Do you have these issues?" And I was like, "Wait a minute. That sounds really familiar."
Right.
Right.
And that's how I got basically got a TikTok diagnosis before I ever went to the doctors.
Wow.
I've never learned so much from anything online before than I have from TikTok. I will say that.
Mhm.
I've learned more from TikTok than probably every site I've gone to and everything. I think it just takes all the information and puts it all in one place.
Well, you
Um,
know why, right?
yeah, because it's people talking. It's just people being people. And
Just
Well,
like
no,
us.
it's because we're getting every video that we get is a small dose of information, right? Our brains are not wired to sit down for hours listening to a lecture because if you're neurospicy, you're gonna get bored after a while, right? So what does TikTok do? It gives you small clips back to back, but it's small information at small increments so you can retain it better.
yeah, it
Makes
does
total
help.
sense.
It does help. Plus,
Yeah, it's
I gotta research it. It nobody on the planet is going to tell me something and I'm going to go, oh my God, yes. And it's going to be the Bible. All that stuff, I got to go behind them and research and do my own thing because, OCD.
yeah.
But this lab is really neat. So now I'm going to be hyper focused on this lab. But
Yeah.
so it's a combination of, so it's multidisciplinary environment with students and postdoctors. So this is a teaching research lab.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
you got the brand new ideas, fresh out of school ideas coming in and working with the people that've been around
Well,
for a minute. That's a good,
so,
that's
so
a
I gotta
good,
say this.
well-rounded.
We got to do a little bit more research on this first
Hmm.
because there was somebody who was the head of the Mayo Clinic here in Florida, up in Jacksonville, and they were doing a bunch of Ehlers-Danlos testing, and they made it sound like it was phenomenal. And when I called, they're not taking patients. They can't take patients, and they're failing miserably. Found this out later on that the clinic itself is actually failing because whatever foundation it was built on wasn't a solid foundation, and this guy apparently went up to the Carolinas. So as long as it's not the same gentleman, because we don't want to do the repeat offenders that we're so used to down here, ladies. Um, where they like to create a company and then get rid of it and then start another.
There's one in the UK as well, and
Okay, so maybe it's not this guy.
their primary focus is reactive astrocytes in Alzheimer's disease. So
Okay.
the one in the
Okay.
UK focuses on Alzheimer's, and then it
Good.
looks like they do have
Okay.
one more location in somewhere else here, Washington.
I bring this up because anybody who's still listening to this, we have to bring this up because you have to be so careful with your health and who you are going to. I cannot advocate enough. Do your research before you go to a doctor. Make sure that you are comfortable. And guys, I can't, please,
Yeah.
ladies, he, they, thems, everybody in between. If you go into a doctor's office and you are not comfortable and that doctor is giving you the heebie-jeebies, you have
Yeah.
every right to get up and walk out.
People don't
Walk out.
understand or realize that when it comes to your doctor, you hire them. No different than a mechanic or the guy that comes and installs your internet or whatever. They're hired by you. And that's why you pay them when you see them.
Right.
So if you're not getting what you need, you're not getting what you want, you're not clicking and vibing with that doctor, you're not going to get very far, but you're still paying them. You wouldn't do that if you took your car to a mechanic and you left 3 times with the same reason and 3 times it wasn't fixed, you wouldn't go back, right?
No,
Doctors, it's no
no.
different. You hire them just like you do anybody to help with anything else in your life. And if it's not working, you need to not be afraid to just say, okay, this isn't it. It's not a good fit for me. It might be great for other people, but for me, this person might not be a good fit. And you shouldn't be afraid to stand up and say that, because as we've learned more and more, as we all go through all of these illnesses that like never go away and do nothing but evolve, you are not going to mesh well with every doctor that you see. And every doctor that
No,
you see
you're
is not going to get you the way they need you to actually care for you. So,
And clarify when Kara says if you're not getting what you need or what you want, she's not talking about medicine hopping. We're talking about
no,
a doctor who's actually listening,
yeah,
right? Like we're talking about a doctor who's
yeah,
understanding you,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's hard. It's hard
It's tough.
to walk out, but you have to do it.
Yep, you have to do it because you're not helping them. You're not helping you. You're not.
Mm-mm.
And we got to be our own advocates, because
Right.
even people who have gone to school and were trained for things like case management that are supposed to be these advocates, they know just as little about all of these things as the rest of the medical field does. So, you know, if you got to change your doctor or just get a second opinion somewhere else, then do that. I've gotten many second opinions and then decided, all right, well, maybe
The
no, I'll
first
probably just
person
stick
work.
with who I have,
Right.
but
Right. Yeah,
but
it's
don't be
hard.
afraid to do it.
No.
But yeah, no, not medicine shopping. That's not what I'm talking about. I just want you to listen.
No.
In fact, I'd
Yeah.
rather you not hand me any more medication. We'd probably get along better
Take me
if you
off.
didn't.
Take me off the meds.
Right,
Take them
right.
all
Exactly.
away.
Yeah,
Oh my
that's
God, that would
much
be
better.
great.
What great topics for today, Donna. Full disclosure, Crystal and I flaked this week, and we just kind of rode the Donna carpet through today. But these were great topics, and I
Thank you.
like kind of being in the background doing some research as we bring some stuff up too. So maybe we'll think about looking into that a little bit more. I want some
Yes,
comments though.
definitely.
I don't know about
Oh
you
my God, I
ladies,
would
but I
love
want to
that.
hear from people. I want to
I want
hear
to hear
what everybody's.
stories.
Yeah, I want to see what other people are going through. Um,
Like I want to know the recipes. Like I want to know like what they're doing. Like what works for them in their life. Like,
yeah,
And
yeah.
oh,
What's
I think
that?
we just
What's
lost
the one
Kara.
thing you can't
Yeah,
Um,
I think so.
go your day without?
it's okay.
Is
But
it
I do want to know, let
something
anybody
that
know who
helps you
is
with your
listening. You are loved.
mobility? Is it mine
We
for
are
many
here
months
for
was
you. If
just
you
I
need
needed to
friends,
make a
come
homemade
on
bowl of
in.
soup. Like,
We're here to listen to you if you guys need to
am I
vent in
frozen?
our comment sections about crazy doctor stories. Right, Crystal?
Yep, please do.
Um, if you need somebody to vent to, please. And we will comment back. We will try to help as best we can. And yeah,
Just
I
a
don't think we're gonna get
reminder,
Kara back.
you can find us multiple places. We're on YouTube. You can see our videos. I believe Donna has set up that you can comment
Mm-hmm.
there. We're on
Yes.
Spotify as well. But then even a lot of the other social medias. We are on the TikTok. We're on the Facebook. We're on all of those different ones. And please, wherever you see us, let us know what you're doing. What are your recipes that you do? Like what Donna was asking for, inflammation, for pain, for this, for that. What do you do that's maybe away from the medication aspect of it and a little bit more towards I'm not saying any specific is better, but maybe, or do you focus more on the holistic stuff, or do you focus more on the herbal stuff, or anything like
Homeopathic.
that?
Mhm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any of those, leave us a comment. Also, if you have any topics that you'd like to see what we're talking about, or if you even just want to be like, hey, what do you think about this? Or what can you help me related to, Crohn's disease? What can you
Mm-hmm.
do for this? Or we're not medical professionals, but we are fantastic researchers. And we do, between the three of us, have a lot of personal experience with many, many different health conditions. And we want to be able to help you. Let us know. Just talk to us. We're
Yeah,
people. You can see
Yeah.
we like to talk. Talk to us.
yeah.
Yeah.
What do you want to
Let us
see? Yeah, what do
tell
you
us
want to
what works
see?
for you. What doesn't work for you then? What do they like if they have any questions on like, scenarios that they need help with. Like if you're struggling, and you know you need advice on something, let us know because I'm pretty sure we'll probably have the answer for you.
Or
And
at
if not,
least
we can find it.
we
Mm-hmm.
certainly have our opinions we can give you. We got lots of those.
Absolutely.
And they're normally backed by a lot of research, so
Very- yeah. All research. Yeah. I don't think I've gone a day in the past decade without researching something to do with
uh-huh.
medical, for sure.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But
All
because
right,
of that,
ladies.
we've gotten a lot of diagnoses.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I
you're
mean.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
All
Well,
right.
thank you everybody for joining. And please leave us something in the comments. What do you want to see? What do you want to hear? How can we help you? Or just part of your story. Maybe you can help us. Who knows? You know?
And if you don't have anything to put and you just want to write something, tell us your favorite color. And then this way we know that you've made it this far.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, share, do all the fun stuff. We're not in this for monetary. We're not trying to do that, but we do want to get we want to get this
Voices.
community bigger. We want to get our voices out there. So if you can share it with a friend, even if they just watch an episode or listen to us and they're like, okay, yeah, those people are weird, then at least they had the opportunity to maybe find a community that may help them.
Yep.
Share it with everybody. Push it out there.
Please.
Let us know.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thank you, everybody. You have a great
Have a
day.
great week.
Bye.